Welcome to The Project. Tonight, the trial of Erin Patterson wrapped up its third week today as her defence team challenged the prosecution's toxicology evidence. The trial resuming after the dramatic news of the judge dismissing one of the jury. Erin Patterson's trial continued a juror down. Justice Christopher Beale removing them following allegations of conversations outside the jury room.
I hasten to add that I have not made a positive finding that he discussed the case with family and friends, but neither could I dismiss the possibility that he had.
Victoria's chief toxicologist, Dimitri Gerosdimoulos, was back in the stand today under cross-examination. The defence arguing his analysis of leftovers was unreliable after samples taken from two places at Erin Patterson's home were placed in the same bag, then with other rubbish.
The bag that the leftovers were placed in was seeping.
The defence raising the risk of contamination. The tested leftovers first sent to Leongatha Hospital, then the Royal Botanic Gardens on July 31st, before finally arriving at the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine almost a full month later on August 29.
I can't comment on the way they've been handled, only the fact we received them in a large Ziploc bag and we tested the contents.
Gerosdimoulos conceding toxins from death cap mushrooms weren't found in samples from Gail Patterson, Heather Wilkinson or Erin Patterson, but maintaining this itself wasn't conclusive.
It may be that the analysis has not been detected in the sample, or it is at a level which the laboratory cannot detect.
Gerosdimoulos briefly leaving the stand, replaced by Dr. David Lovelock, who testified he detected remnants of death cap mushroom in samples taken from Erin Patterson's dehydrator.
We were able to detect Amanita phalloides in 2 of the 7 test tubes.
Lovelock's brief stint in the stand coming to an end as Gerosdimoulos returned. His evidence rebutting the defence's case Erin Patterson ate the same meal as her guests, despite not suffering any adverse symptoms.
There would likely be some adverse outcomes for the person who survived, the severity of which may vary.
Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges. The trial resumes on Monday. Erin Pearson is The Age's crime and justice reporter. She was in the Morwell court today. Erin, what more did we learn from the toxicologist?
We got a lot more detail today, guys, about what the testing was done in the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine weeks after the fatal lunch had occurred. There was a lot of testing that was going on 3 different elements really, largely the beef Wellington that had made its way from Leongatha all the way down to South Bank in Melbourne. And the testing there we saw little samples put into multiple different vials, different pieces of this beef Wellington lunch. But essentially what we heard was toxic death cap mushrooms were found in some of those samples.
Do we know any more about why the toxicologist also left the stand before then again returning?
Yeah, there was a little bit of investigation that had to take place, and there was another witness that we heard from this afternoon before he returned to the stand. Now, that witness, his name was David Lovelock. At the time, back in mid-2023, he was working out of Agricultural Victoria. And some of these samples, as they went to many different specialists, also arrived on his desk. And he was asked to have a look at the beef Wellington samples and also the dehydrator, a black Sunbeam dehydrator that had been seized as part of this investigation. And while he said that his DNA testing was unable to find any traces of death cap mushrooms in the lunch itself, it did return positive samples for that dehydrator. There was a number of samples, 7 taken from that dehydrator, and 2 of those returned a positive result for death cap mushroom toxins.
Questions were also raised about why toxins weren't found in samples from Heather Wilkinson and Gail Patterson. What more can you tell us?
So the jury were told that blood tests were taken from the 4 lunch guests during their time in hospital, and then there was post-mortem samples also taken. In the 2 gentlemen who were at the lunch, we know Don Patterson and Ian Wilkinson, Ian being the surviving lunch guest, urine samples were also taken from them. But the 2 women who were also at the lunch, urine samples weren't taken from them. So once all of these biological results made their way to VIFM, the scientists there were looking at 3 different areas: blood serum, and then also the urine samples. So we heard that in both of the gentlemen's samples, they returned positive results for mushroom toxin, but the women's samples, because the urine wasn't able to be sampled as well, they didn't reach what's called a detectable result. And the jury were told that doesn't mean that it's not there, it just means that the testing systems that they use, the scientists use, have different levels, and the level that they were able to test for wasn't able to be found in the women's samples.
Erin Pearson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Tonight we are live from the lands of the Kulin Nation, and we're moving on now because they are a powerhouse voice in the Aussie music scene and no stranger to the top of the ARIA charts, but now acclaimed singer, songwriter and multi-instrumentalist G-Flip is switching things up with a totally new sound. Here a new single called Disco Cowgirl. We love it. Have a listen.
Don't go falling for a country girl.
So good. Sorry, you called me. Would you please welcome G-Flip?
What's up, crew?
Oh, we are so happy to be talking to you. Gee, before we get into it, incredible single. Before we get there, though, can I just show you this photo? What is this about? Hang on. Who here is stalking you?
This photo is literally from like 2 days ago.
Excuse me, I was minding my own business, trying to be hungover in a burger takeaway joint.
Yeah.
Do tell.
I walked in and I was shooting a music video for this single for Disco Cowgirl, and I've walked into this In-N-Out burger, a burger place in the US, and I said to my manager, God, that guy looks like Rove. And then my manager looked over and said, I think that is Rove. And then I walked up and was like, Rove. And then, yeah. And I honestly could not believe it. It was in like a random burger place somewhere in LA, like the most random spot to run into Rove. So it was pretty amazing.
Now, what I love about this song is that you have mentioned it is in part inspired by your wife, Chriselle, dancing on a table. So I just want to know, if I was to go out dancing with you, like next time we're at your Aria's after party or something, could your next single be called like Daggy Dad Dance or something?
I reckon, yeah, Rove dancing on the table would actually make like for a pretty hooky vibe and a hooky song title. So yeah, next time, mate, just jump on the table, even at In-N-Out, you know, jump on those tables and I'll write a quick song for you.
This is why I always carry a spare pair of chaps with me, just in case.
Oh,
anyone's
yes.
interested.
I mean, that isn't why, but let's
for sure, let's
why
just
not?
say that.
I want to talk to you about key changes.
Woo.
When it comes to the key change, is there a perfect number on a scale of, say, like 1 to living on a prayer?
Oh, okay. I think it definitely depends on the song and depends on the artist's vocal range. If you're Beyonce, you can really just go to like
Love
6,
on top.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're me, we're just going to cap it at 1.
But what a key change. It gives me chills every time I hear it.
I've been trying to put a key change in a song for about 6 years. And I tried on every song of mine. I tried it on The Worst Person Alive, Rove. It didn't work. Song, which I know you're a
Still a
fan
great
of.
song. Still a great song.
And then when I tried it for Disco Cowgirl, it just worked and it felt right to go into a key change, but also do like an a cappella Queen moment.
Yes.
So I was really feeling the 80s vibes for this single.
So to hit a good key change, will you put this in as part of your prep for performing a new music single? Because I understand you get on treadmills, you stand on your head. Run us through it.
Yeah, I guess my live show is pretty crazy. Just 'cause I switch instrument every song. So I'll be on drums singing for a song, then I'll be playing guitar, then I'll be playing bass, then I'll be playing the keys. And in order for me to just like stay fit, definitely.
And presumably for the
treadmill.
tax deductions as well. For all the instruments. You've got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, running on treadmills, skipping. And I do headstands, which, came up in an interview the other day.
Could you headstand right now? Are you in a position to headstand?
We could give it like a really quick go.
There you go.
Wait.
You got this.
I'm just-
Oh, mate, you're a legend. This is going to happen. I'm so excited.
Gee, I love this. It's like we're going to try and G's done it all.
Here we go. You got this.
Here we go.
You got this.
Here we go.
You guys see me?
Yes,
You're the
Gee.
best.
Did that work?
Yes.
You're the best.
Yes. Oh
Perfect.
my gosh.
Oh,
So
wow. You've done it
good.
again. The single is out now. It's fantastic. G-Flip, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, see you, mate.
So good. What a sport. Okay, let's get into some more of today's headlines. And another tough day on the witness stand for Cassie Ventura as she faced a gruelling cross-examination from lawyers representing her ex, Sean Diddy Combs. They questioned her about graphic text messages, but their methods and treatment of the heavily pregnant Ventura drew criticism from the judge. And Justin Bieber has issued a statement denying he was ever a victim of Diddy's freak-offs. His people insist nothing untoward ever happened between Bieber and Combs. Queensland's Warrego Highway could be closed for days after a truck carrying a wind turbine smashed into an overpass at Ipswich just west of Brisbane. The truck ended up wedged under the bridge after reportedly failing to follow the escort to a highway off-ramp. Structural engineers have been called in. The incident has created a traffic headache of epic proportions.
It is, as I understand it, the busiest road in Queensland. You're looking at about 6,500 truck trips a day using that Warrego between Brisbane and Toowoomba.
And a viral video of a woman's evening workout being interrupted by a man has sparked fiery online debate. She can be seen using the pull-up bars when a stranger comes up and starts doing pull-ups himself. She ends up popping off and walking away. Many people called out the man's behaviour as attention-seeking, claiming he was trying to assert his dominance. Others came to his defence, arguing that it's a shared space. Oh, I know what she's feeling in that exact moment, and it's that, oh, really?
See, this never happens to
first.
me. Never, ever happens because I'm so jacked.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Because
guys
you're
are-
just in the squat rack, that's why.
Yeah, constantly, like non-stop. No, I have no upper body strength. I could never do that. But it is a little example of gym etiquette and how we deal with it all. And I think that it is also an excuse not to go to the gym after 6 p.m.
Oh, well, but it is honestly such a deterrent. I love going to the gym. I've only recently started lifting weights. And the reason that I hadn't started before now was that I was so deterred by gym bros, for want of a better word, because I find them really intimidating. And a lot of people were almost backing the man there, being like, well, hang on, she could just say, come up to you and be like, can you not do that? But when you're in that situation, it can be quite confronting. So I feel for her there. Also, just as a bit of a PSA, male, female, why are you throwing your weights and making this such a loud throw them away? Just put them down.
You go.
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you here.
Then
We're
you go
all
into the
here.
monkey bar.
We're all
But
lifting.
the whole monkey bar debacle is
Yeah.
why I've always maintained that there should be teachers at gyms to say, you go pick up, you're on scab duty, emu duty, for getting in the way like that.
Yeah, I get it.
I want to know, Georgie Tunny, how much do you bench, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually couldn't tell you. I actually don't look at the numbers.
pick it up in a
I
few
just-
weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Later in the show, we're going to be talking to comedian Geraldine Quinn all about Eurovision. Big night, well, overnight. But before we get to that, something else I want to show you. Part of the pre-show fun of Eurovision, and don't we love it? Like the Met Gala.
Yeah.
They had this turquoise carpet, and Poland's entry, Justina, well, she wanted to show off her mad skills. Still going?
Okay.
Still going?
Yeah.
So I'm being told we have to take a break. We'll have to come back to her. We'll see you on the other side. Yep,
Held
no,
it
that's
for
right.
quite a
Welcome back to the project.
Now, a hip pocket boost could be on the cards for millions of Aussie workers, with the federal government backing the Fair Work Commission's call to increase the minimum wage. The Treasurer wouldn't say how big the increase would be, but insists it won't drive up inflation.
What we are seeking is an economically sustainable real wage increase for millions of Australians on awards.
And regardless of today's announcement, interest rates are all but set to come down next week. A survey of 41 economists found almost 90% believes the cash rate will be slashed when the RBA meets on Tuesday. And last-minute preparations are underway ahead of the A-League Women's Grand Final at Melbourne's Amy Park. The Victory is looking to secure their 4th A-League title when they face off against the Central Coast Mariners. Now, it is a very big moment for the Mariners as well, after a controversial extra-time winner, propelling them into their first ever Grand Final appearance.
Yes, and Emily Gilnick, Melbourne Victory striker just happens to be with us now. Thank you for coming in. You got a lot going on.
A lot going on.
So you've made the final, grand final. Congratulations
yeah.
on that. But
Never
how are you
in
feeling
doubt.
at this point? Never in doubt.
I actually
Never
don't
in
think
doubt.
it was in
That.
doubt.
No, never in doubt.
Yeah.
We were 2 points short of the minor premiership, so that one stung a bit. But here we are now. So one more training tomorrow, and then we crack on for this guy on Sunday.
Would you feel you're too superstitious to go anywhere near that, right?
So for anyone that doesn't know, you're not meant to. I believe you're not meant to touch the trophy.
That's right. So you just keep this
I will
hand
not
here.
be putting my hands on it. I'll admire it from afar.
And you did not touch it. It was brought up here by
I
someone
did
else,
not.
so it's not been
to
touched.
be clear, no
Okay,
gloves. Yeah.
Good.
Now you have. This wouldn't be your first win, your first premiership if you were to get it. Are you feeling greedy? Should it be number 3 for you?
I mean, it should. You can never have enough silverware. I mean, it's what you want as a footballer. It's what dreams are made of. Everyone wants to get to grand final day. It's like making a World Cup or an Olympics. It's all you think about. So when you play in your season, all you're thinking about is this one day. And now I've fallen short many times. So it's another opportunity to get my hands on some silverware, lift the trophy, and maybe share a bevy afterwards.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you make of the Mariners heading into this?
Look, it's an unknown, which can be very dangerous. Obviously, the obvious candidate was Melbourne City. They were the team all season to beat. Now they fell short, which proves that anything can happen in finals. So we need to just not underestimate them by any means. And they're going to be a tough side. And like you saw in the preview, the goal was controversial last week, but that's finals football, and the reality is we don't have VAR, which do you know what VAR is?
Yeah,
So
of course.
just to be sure.
I
so
don't.
anything goes. So if the ref sees it or the refs don't, you've got to make sure you put goals in the back of the net early.
Well, anything can happen, but earlier this year, you actually did something that I find, I want to get you tested. I think that there may be witchcraft among here, or you might be magic, because I believe in a game earlier this season, you wrote yourself a note.
I did.
In a
How'd you hear
self,
about that?
I know.
Because she's magic.
Yeah, in a self-described goal drought, you wrote yourself a note that said, "I will score 2 goals today," and you did.
I did.
Are you manifesting ahead of Sunday?
Well, now that you've brought it up, I might write myself another note on Sunday. But honestly, I haven't done anything that weird or crazy all season. But I believe in the power of the mind and the manifestation. And I was. You know, it's all the external noise that you don't like to hear. Everyone's like, she hasn't scored in ages. She's kind of losing form. Like, will she get back? And then I thought, I just had a gut feeling. I wrote myself a note that day, signed it, dated it, just in case no one believed me. Put it in front of the mirror as I brushed my teeth, and then off I went and scored 2 goals. I mean, some might say luck, but you make your own luck.
Now, you've had a lot of difficulties in any career as anybody would. You've had injuries. You've missed out on selection and stuff like that. What is more difficult, dealing with that or Peter Hellier on The Amazing Race?
Oh, bless him. Yeah, Pete, I love you.
don't have to bless
No,
him.
bless him.
Bless him next
I
to
love
him.
you, Pete, just in case you're watching. But yeah, do you know what? Everyone knows Bridge was holding the shit down.
All life.
He was great to do the show with. And, he saw a bit of my sadness there when I had missed out on the World Cup when I was injured. He put his arm around me. He's a good guy at heart, but gosh, he was funny to be around. But yeah, he saw the trials and tribulations and we spoke about it. Didn't actually end up airing. It was quite a beautiful moment that I got to share with everyone on the Amazing Race crew, both Chloe and I. But Pete was funny from get-go. I mean, he was great, but like I said, Bridge really...
So take note, Georgie Tunney. They cut all the emotional stuff out.
I know.
The Chile's set to play Argentina, 2
Yes.
matches, May and June. Missed out on the World Cup because of injuries, and I heard that was a pretty tricky time. How did you get through it?
To be honest, I get asked this question a lot. It was the toughest time of my career, and I'm done kind of shedding tears over it. It's not about the past anymore. I kind of want to move that, and now I find myself in the same situation, and it is a bit awkward to talk about, but I like to put it out in the universe because it keeps me accountable. I felt like the last few camps I've missed out, and all I'm thinking about is how I can get back there and be in that jersey, because I have had the privilege of being in a World Cup and being in Olympics, but I want more. And now that I've had this setback and I'm on a run of trying to get back into the Matildas, everyone knows it, and I'm just going to keep putting myself out there and keep playing it. Another opportunity on Sunday to do that.
And you got your Future Baller charity, which is a great thing as well.
Yeah, you've got some more notes to write.
Yeah.
Right down there.
Yes, I
think
do.
the manifestation.
Touch trophy.
On Sunday. On Sunday, you can
Little
catch the Ninja A-League Women Final this Sunday on 10 Bold, 10 Play and Paramount Plus. Would you please thank Emily Gilman?
Oh, wait, sorry. And before, can you don't go anywhere. I'm just being told apparently we're just going to check in with our Eurovision contestant. She said,
Still going. Yeah.
Sorry, still
Yeah.
going. We'll leave her to it. We'll come back. We'll come back. Oh, it's a weekend full of films that'll make your heart stop. So prepare yourself for...
First, it's the one my mum can't wait for, Final Destination Bloodlines.
Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. But Death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
And to think I feel uncomfortable when my grandma simply told me I needed to eat more. But come on, Nan, what's the worst that could happen? I said, Yeesh, worst Jim's mowing ad ever. Okay, so maybe G-Mar's onto something, and maybe you should all watch your backs.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Dude, the first rule of horror film, never talk backwards into the middle of the road while talking ironically about death. Next up, the man, the myth, the meme, Nicolas Cage stars as the surfer in the unnerving Aussie beach flick, The Surfer.
Pure energy. It's all building to this breaking point.
When he returns to the beach of his childhood to surf with his son, the surfer is met with some seriously weird hostility from the locals.
Don't live here. Don't surf here. I grew up here. Don't live here. Don't surf here.
It's so weird that reality starts slipping more than Nick's Aussie accent, and it all gets really weird and creepy. He's eating rats.
What?
Oh, just give him his board back, mate.
Dude, that's my board, and I want it back. Yeah, but nah.
Seriously, this film should actually be called A Drongo's Got My Surfboard.
That's a good one.
And lastly, Tom, I do all my own stunts and they're absolutely bananas cruise returns to give me a heart attack in Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him.
The world is on the brink of war, and wouldn't you know it, Ethan Hunt is the only man who can save the day.
Everything you are, everything you've done has come to this.
It's the 8th and allegedly final installment in the franchise, and Tom has pulled out all the stops. And by that I mean you can't stop him because he's running heaps faster than you. Oh wait, that last one was Georgie Tunney. Sorry. So what do you need, TC?
I need you to trust me one last time.
You got it, Tom. And if you need it, Georgie's got your back.
I'm bugging.
And that was...
So, let's have it out here and now. You and Tom Cruise, you've had the discussion, we've seen you running.
Yes.
Are you taking over the franchise, Georgie Tunney?
We can exclusively reveal that, yes.
Woo! Get your jaw clench ready.
I am yet to learn if I will, but I think
that's not a no.
It's not a no. It's not a no. It's not a no. And the movie itself
Feels like a no.
Very, very fun. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. It's a we don't know. It's a we don't know. It's a we'll find out. Time for more of today's top stories. And Anthony Albanese is headed to Rome, where he'll attend the inauguration mass of Pope Leo XIV on Sunday. But before the PM flew out of Jakarta, there was a pause in diplomacy. The PM presenting Bobby, the feline sidekick of Indonesia's cat-loving president, with a special red scarf printed with the words, "Australia loves Indonesia." Bobby was even feeling friendly enough to accept a snack from Albo, much to President Prabowo's delight. And how many times a day do you pee?
Beg your pardon?
That's a serious question. If it's anything fewer than 6 times, you could be in trouble. Experts say adults should be going to the bathroom 6 to 9 times a day to ensure their
69?
overall health doesn't suffer. Those over 60 should be taking a leg up to 10 times a day. For under 14s, it's 6 to 14 times a day. Doesn't it just all depend on how much you're drinking?
I do not have time for all of this.
What do you mean?
So I save up one big wee and do it at the end of the month.
The end of the month?
Yep.
What?
I'm there for 30 minutes. But I think it balances out long term.
I'm having flashbacks to Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own.
Oh, yeah, it's Morse code. It's absolute Morse code. We have young people in the audience who are saying twice. Twice a day.
That's just showing off.
Your
and all the pipes are working
levels.
fine.
No, they've got to drink more water.
Yeah.
What is this?
Actually, there's some study, this will sound legit, that says that men don't drink enough water, and that's why sometimes they get a bit angry.
Oh,
It's actually dehydration.
it's all connected.
Yeah,
Really?
a legit study. Thanks, scientist Susan.
Hey, we don't know.
We don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
I just know that there'll be so many people watching at home that are just there now. I can see you doing the mental maths of it all. Just being like, how many,
But
when
who
was the...
who
what?
counts anyway? Who's the person going, you come out of the toilet and you're like, that's 4.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Well, in other news, the Eurovision Song Contest has just turned 69.
Grow up. Come on.
But sadly, Australia is no longer part of it after our entry failed to progress past the semi-finals. Oh, wait, sorry. Can we get one of those graphics up? Yeah. Phew, that was close. So, how did we fall so short?
You can call me the Milkshake Man. I want to shake and make the whole world dance.
In Switzerland, Aussie pop singer Go-Jo was pretty sure he knew what the Eurovision judges wanted.
I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man.
But a taste they did not want. It was a total Swiss miss, a no-go for Go-Jo, with this particular milkshake sending all the boys from the yard. Despite Milkshake Man racking up 4 million Spotify streams ahead of the comp, Australia was not among the countries that made it to the grand final. Switzerland clearly not as neutral as they'd like to suggest.
You can use a little pick-me-up.
So what the hell was wrong with this banger? We asked musicologist Joe Bennett from Berkeley, California.
Actually, I'm from the other Berkeley. I'm from the music college in Boston.
Oh, sorry.
I really enjoyed it, actually. I enjoyed it more musically than lyrically. I think as a lyric, it was a little bit saucy and, shall we say, playful.
It's the milk from the Milkshake Man.
I'm not sure that's going to appeal to every one of the Eurovision judging nations. Given that Milkshake Man was a little bit risque, I think that might have been a bit of its downfall.
But what could we have done differently? Should we have sung about saunas like presumptive favourite Sweden? Or randomly listed Italian things like grand finalists San Marino and Estonia?
Espresso macchiato.
I mean, how do you write a Eurovision hit that'll get the judges on side?
It has to be crowd-pleasing on the night. It has to be melodic. People in Europe speak lots of different languages, and you're not necessarily going to win the day with a lyric hook. But if you can write a melody that everyone is humming after the final, you're likely in with a really good shot.
Look, maybe it's not about the song. Maybe the love affair has ended. Maybe it's time to end this Eurovisionism and just admit they thought we were Austria this whole time. Maybe it's time we left it alone and just loved the contest from afar.
When I say sweet, sweet, you say yum, yum, sweet, sweet. Yum, yum. Sweet, sweet.
Yum, yum. Let me grab a guitar.
As you can see, clearly Rove's joining us to help figure out our place in this big Eurovision world as singer and comedian Geraldine Quinn.
Yum, yum. Yum, yum.
That was alarming.
Coming in hot with my yum, yum.
You were. Let's start with our entry, because did it actually make you want to have a taste of the Milkshake Man? And by that I mean, did you like the song?
Listen.
Good, I'm glad that you clarified.
Yeah, I'm very glad that you clarified that in front of this very of-age audience. Look, I did like the song. I tend to be someone who loves a bit of a melody, but I have to admit, I was tapping away, toes tapping away, and the staging is beautiful, and give me a costume reveal any day of the week.
It was like a double costume reveal, and then the costume came off.
Oh, the
So
costume.
let's go through it, because there's 16 countries.
Yep.
10 go through.
In the semi-final, yeah.
Yeah, so what did we miss out on? What?
You asking what was missing from the milkshake,
Yeah, right. Because you're saying you were into it.
Yeah, but there's no rhyme or reason for Eurovision. That's the thing. Like, you've kind of got to understand. I think what's really great about Eurovision is someone who's watched it for a lot of years, not an expert, can't do a lot of dates for you, but you've got to accept the way that the cookie crumbles. You never know what an audience is going to go for. You're not going to know whether the song's going to be catching their imagination or whatever it is. And they were first. And it's a big problem being first in a semi-final.
Got to be the warm-up act.
Yeah,
Audience isn't into it
It was a
yet.
brilliant warm-up act, don't get me wrong, but when you're first, audiences forget.
No one
that
likes
you're
a warm milkshake.
No.
No, they really don't.
So is also the problem, because as I understand it, there's a lot of political voting with the different blocks of the different parts of Europe, who they like and who they don't like. Are we just kind of lost in the shuffle a bit?
I've got a theory, sort of. I think that I like us being in Eurovision, but I feel like maybe from last year, just my opinion, my opinion was that maybe the honeymoon started to feel like it was over.
Oh dear.
I feel like Europe kind of went, yeah,
they're sick of us.
Look, it was fun for a while, but I just feel like we're not quite compatible.
So you think the flirtation is over? Do you think we're better as spectators?
I know, I want us to be in it, but I think we're on a year-by-year invitation at this point.
Oh, wow.
Well, how do we win them back? How do we change that? What do we need to be doing?
But you
when it
know
comes
what
to our
happens when you
entrance?
have a difficult breakup? You can't, like, change
you've got to cut your hair and dye it.
Yeah, there's also that. But you need to be able to accept, to let them go.
Yeah.
And then maybe they will come back.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm understanding that the other contestant is from Poland. Is she
She's still
wrapping
here.
up? Oh, no, sorry,
She's
I was
back.
misinformed. She's still going. Back to you. Back to you.
Geraldine Quinn, you have phenomenal pipes. You are an incredible performer. Would you ever represent Australia for Eurovision?
That's what we're missing.
Well, I was actually longlisted in 2020.
So would you do it?
Of course I would do it. Don't make me do any levels. I've got terrible knees.
We're winning Eurovision. Geraldine Quinn, thank you so much for taking us through it. See you next year.
More projects still to come. Stick around.
Yes.
Just teaching some of the younger members of our audience about Eurovision.
Ah, yes.
And that we are not a European country.
No.
Or a European country.
Are they into it?
Are you into it?
Yeah, we'll go back to
That says all you need to know.
Top stories. And Ben Roberts-Smith intends to launch a High Court challenge after losing his appeal against the outcome of his long-running defamation case. In 2023, it was found he likely committed war crimes in Afghanistan. But today, the full bench of the federal court was unanimous in its decision to dismiss his appeal. Ordered to pay costs, Roberts-Smith is facing a multi-million-dollar legal bill. Never charged with any criminal offence, the disgraced Victoria Cross winner continues to maintain his innocence. Gable Tosti, the man acquitted of murdering his Tinder date Warina Wright on the Gold Coast in 2014, is back in the headlines. He's been banned from Star casinos in New South Wales and Queensland after another alleged incident. Court documents show a woman accused Tosti of strangling her inside a hotel room 3 years ago. Tosti, who now goes by the name Eric Thomas, was not charged and is challenging the ban. And a flipping amazing welcome for Donald Trump as he touched down in the United Arab Emirates. He was greeted by women and girls tossing their hair as part of a traditional dance. And it's been revealed the Saudis didn't roll out the red carpet either when Trump arrived in Riyadh at the start of his Middle East tour. Knowing his love for Macca's, they just rolled in a mobile version of the Golden Arches instead.
Wow.
And Aussies and Kiwis arguing over the origin of things isn't anything new. But comedian Tom Cashman has been shocked by New Zealand trying to claim the flat white. He took to socials to voice his surprise after seeing a sign in Wellington that read, "Home is where the flat white was really invented."
So then I'm like, oh my God, they think that they invented the flat white. This is an act of war against Australia. I call upon our Defence Minister and the leader of our army to invade Wellington this minute and take down this sign with physical force.
Firstly, great to see you, Cashman.
It's enough to make Russell Crowe choke on his pavlova.
It really is. I mean, look, it's the land of the long white cloud and the flat white coffee. That's what I grew up knowing, so I don't know why everyone's getting so upset about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was like, how?
Georgie, tell everybody your fun fact.
My fun fact?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So, my fun fact is that the New Zealand football team, their national football team, you know how they have their rugby union team, very successful, called the All Blacks. Their national football team is called the All Whites, which seems confusing in 2025, but that is their name.
Maybe it's because of the coffee.
Oh,
Did I get them out of trouble? Moving
on.
Hey, the Liberals' nightmare election turned into a dream come true for Susan Lee, becoming the party's first female leader. So what we thought we'd do is check in with the Shadow Assistant Minister for Messaging
Yes, good call.
to see if it's smooth sailing from here on in.
Minister, the member for Farrell just won the Liberals' top job. Was she the right choice?
Absolutely. There's nothing sus about Susan.
Susan.
There's 2 S's. Do your research. Look, she ticks all the boxes. Woman, believes in numerology, born in Nigeria, dad was a spy, went through a punk phase, moved to New York, became a songwriter, dated Adam Garcia. That's Coyote Ugly. It's very good though.
And these positions are gifts of our party room.
Would you have preferred Angus Taylor?
Not for slogans. Susan Lay. Ole, 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 feeling hot, hot, hot.
It's pronounced Lee.
You're kidding. What is with this name?
I think we've all got a sense about where we went wrong, and it's different in different locations.
Did you think about throwing your hat in the ring?
Me? Do you think I'd be good at it? I mean, sometimes I do kind of practice in front of the mirror a little bit, just a little, what was that? But no, I've not actually seriously considered it. Next.
I will always respect that wisdom.
It's another woman given leadership in a time of crisis who's pretty much doomed to fail. Is this another glass cliff appointment?
Glass. Look, the only thing glass about our Susan is her clear vision for the party. And besides, are there any women that you know who wouldn't love just abseiling down a glass cliff into a bin fire? I mean, feeling hot, hot, hot. I know I am. It's probably the menopause.
How long do you give her?
I don't know. I mean, a day's a long time in politics. It could be a day. It won't be a day. I'm being cheeky.
That's not exactly a ringing endorsement.
Well, Liberal VP Fiona Scott doesn't seem to think she'll last long.
Well, that was a joke. Us Liberals are known for our chill sense of humour.
Is that a joke?
No. Get out. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
You know what's bizarre about that is that it said that was Susie Youssef, which it's not.
No, this is Susie Youssef. That's an
I've
incredibly
never seen you two
attractive
together anyway, and she quite clearly has glasses and it is a
I don't care to
person.
comment at this time.
Don't think about it too much. You're watching The Project. Go away. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm being told Poland, our Eurovision Poland contestant.
Yeah.
How's it going?
How is she going? Oh.
It landed that plane.
What an end of that. Now,
Yeah, that's not where I expected
That's not where I
that to
thought it was
go.
going to go. Now, they're poignant, powerful moments captured in time. Here's a look at some of the week's best news photos from Australia and all around the world.
The world in pictures.
The week kicked off with a vote to see who would lead the Liberal Party. Jacinta Price thought it was funny, Andrew Hastie rocked up in the same suit he wore to his Year 10 formal, and in the end they went with these guys. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's the cast of Beetlejuice. In the end they went with Susan Lay and Ted O'Brien. Ted pictured here, regretting everything. A Moscow military parade was attended by some of the biggest names in the world, like Xi Jinping and Steven Seagal. There was hitchhiking, talk of Trump's liaison with Stormy Daniels, and a lovely little tea party. Russian breakfast, my favourite. In the Middle East, Trump wowed the Crown Prince by falling asleep and then playing a fun game of pull my finger. Kim Jong-un and an orchestra conductor test-fired some missiles, and the general whose car he exploded said he did not mind. And finally, wandering around looking lost in his Senate hearing, RFK Jr. attempted to perform an exorcism on Bernie Sanders. Didn't work. But the interpretive dance of these angry protesters did have RFK fearing the worst, leading him to shout the famous Kennedy final words,
Big week. Now, our next guests are gearing up to say goodbye. Holy Holy is an indie rock duo comprising of Oscar Dawson and Tim Carroll. They've been at the forefront of Aussie music since their first EP back in 2013. And since then, have amassed hit after hit. Following more than a decade together and 5 albums, more than 150 million streams and countless live shows, Holy Holy is taking one last turn on their grand hiatus tour.
I'm going to miss them already. Please welcome Oscar Dawson and Tim Carroll. Holy, holy!
a spoiler, though. I mean, you're going on the grand hiatus tour. Where are you going? What's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, after we've been in this band for about 12 years and more than 5 albums. So we're doing this big tour all around the country to kind of connect with our fans, and then we're going to have a bit of a break for a while.
Really? Not to be too friends, Ross and Rachel, about it, but is it like a break, or are we breaking up?
Well, we've chosen the word hiatus carefully because we didn't want to John Farnham everyone.
Yes.
That's an okay thing to say, isn't it?
Yes, no, it is. It is, yes.
So
yes.
you never know what's going to happen in the future. But we're both going overseas, actually, I'm sorry to say. So,
Separately?
Separately.
Okay, all right.
Different
so where
flights,
are you going? Tim, where are you going?
I'm moving to Stockholm, Sweden.
The hell you are? What? Why? You saw that Eurovision song with the sauna and went, I got to try it.
That's where I'm headed, to Eurovision. To make
Have you been, do you have a second home there? Do you hang out there?
My wife is from Sweden and we've been living in Australia for like 17 years and she's been diligently speaking Swedish with the kids, and so we're going to go and kind of connect with the family over there.
Fully immersive?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You're going to go and test how well they speak Swedish?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and myself as well.
Oscar, where are you going to head to then?
London.
Not as exciting. Not as exciting.
No, only because you already speak the language, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Have you been immersing yourself in the language as well?
I'm trying my best. I work with some people there who are from up north. I can't understand a word.
Bloody geezers.
So you released Sweet Bittersweet. Is it because it's like, sweet, we made an album, bitter, we're having a hiatus, but sweet, we've made an album. Is that how? Is that
you
the vibe
actually just
behind
nailed it. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. It is. It's sweet and it's bitter at the same time. Yeah, it really
So you
is,
knew when you were making the album that would be the last one?
Yeah, well, this set of recordings was very kind of casual. Initially, we were actually just going to record some acoustic versions of some of our biggest songs, really as just like a love letter to our fans. And then when we were in the studio, we couldn't kind of help ourselves and ended up writing a few songs as well. And I feel like a lot of the Holy Holy works have existed in that kind of like happy, sad space. And so this album is a continuation of that in a way.
Yeah.
Are you going to feel sad now that you're wrapping it up? Like, where is your last gig going to be and how are you feeling about that?
Last show's in Brisbane, and it is annoying because when you play these shows, no, I mean it's annoying in that like you play these shows and they feel so great, and you're like, why are we stopping?
Yeah.
But I mean, you sort of this little feeling where maybe now is a good time to take a break. You know?
Are you going to cry?
I have a tendency to cry. I'm happy to cry.
Look, G-Flip did a handstand before. Will you cry now?
I'm not feeling teary now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Can I ask, in this kind of moment of wrapping things up for however long it is, can you take us right back to the beginning and tell us how you started making music together?
This will make you cry.
Well, we met when we were very young. We were about 18, and we both travelled to Thailand to teach English in Thailand as a little like post-high school sort of like see the world experience. And we both had guitars, and we spent many kind of evenings drinking Thai rum and playing soccer with the local kids. And
we didn't teach much English, I don't think, to be honest.
and playing music. And you know, I had been like a sort of songwriter and lyricist, and to play with Oscar, who's this sort of savant guitarist, was suddenly this whole new sonic landscape that kind of opened up. And Oscar went and played in some other bands like the Dukes of Windsor in Melbourne. And I wrote and released a solo album, but then we came back together about 10 years later and started writing songs.
Yeah.
With no real intention to make a band, to be honest, just because we liked writing.
So
then we made Holy Holy.
Does that, I know you're both now, you know, the band is on a hiatus, you're off overseas, yes or no, will you be representing us at Eurovision at some point in the future? Maybe.
That's why you're going.
I feel like looking at Go-Jo, I need to get some of these things going. I've got a bit of, I've got to work.
Good luck.
You can begin. Tickets to see Holy Holy's A Grand Hiatus Tour are selling fast, so hurry because you may miss out and this could be your last chance. Would you please thank Oscar and Tim? They're running.
Thank you, Georgie. Thank you, sir.